forming the bounce line now. Retro is trying to hold his best game. Finds 2, he finds 3! As the push comes through, Spear is going to take the first and the second. He's quite talented with that off. Finds the third, no scope, and it's...
Hey everyone, and welcome to the first cast, the first entire stream of Season 7 of Golden Leagues. I am one of your casters, Cullen, and I am joined by, as you can see, by the beautiful, definitely not a photo, it's definitely a video photo next to me, is Arimir.
Hey, don't forget Luscious, all right? How's it going tonight, guys? Of course, I am Arimir. So, Grazur Esports versus Rebirth. We got a juicy series ahead of us, if I do say so myself. Cullen, you got that big brain. Hit us with some stats.
All right, well, let's talk about these teams for a second. First off, Rebirth, we know them at Golden League. They were the winners of last season, so they are returning big boys. That is for sure. Both of these teams are doing very well in their divisions right now. Rebirth is an ESEA main team, so let's talk about their stats. They are currently 11-2. They are shoe-ins to make it to the playoffs, and most likely, I think it's pretty much a given that if they keep up the performance they have now, we're going to be seeing them in advanced, where they will be joining Grazur, who are in advanced right now. Currently, they are 7-6, so they're not quite at the upper echelon. I do believe they're around number 20-something. I think 21st in ESEA. Let me check. Correction, they are 23rd. So both of these teams are, I would say, actually pretty close to the same level. I would say the upper level of main is towards the middle level of advanced. So I think we're going to see a very, very interesting game.
Yeah, once you get up there, it can be really hard to know like which team's better than another. They're so close in skill level that it really comes down to which players have individual performances, who stands out, who works as a team. It's something that, like, Inferno's my favorite map, right? It's a good example. That's something that T-side, if you don't have good coordination, good structured teamwork, you don't have the smokes down, the mollies down, the splits, the map control, like early banana control for either side, it can really punish you later, and it's something that teams at this level are all really good at, so the struggle is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I think no matter what happens, we're getting a good game. These are two of my personal favorite teams. But let's go ahead and talk about the map picks and bans real quick. So our very first map is going to be taking us to Inferno. That is the pick of Rebirth, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yeah, you're correct there. That is going to go ahead and be a Rebirth's pick. Inferno, and then Grazur are going to go ahead and take Train, and the deciding map, of course, Overpass. So that is the rundown for this, guys. We'll see how they all go. My favorite. Excuse me.
We went in a little bit of a wrong order. Sorry, we got we got our information a little bit messed up. We are going to be going over map bans first. So the first map that was banned is waiting on the information just because we don't know this. Well, I'm going to assume it's one of the 3 maps that we didn't say. There is the first map ban, Vertigo, coming through. Yeah, we're looking now. Sorry about that. Yeah, the first map ban does come through on Vertigo for Rebirth. So this is something that kind of expected. Rebirth is something you don't see Vertigo is something you don't see at this level. But second map ban, if you want to talk about it, Aaron, or map ban.
Absolutely. Excuse me, my stream is kind of frozen here for a sec, but second ban is Dust 2, of course. Grazur are going to make that happen. They have not been fans of Dust 2 for a while here, and Rebirth are exceptionally strong on Dust 2, so not really surprised to see that. And we're, just a note, we are into the knife round here in the game, so keep an eye out for that. That's happening as well, but...
Yeah, and then as you said, Grazur actually have played Dust 2 pretty recently and then lost on it, but what's more important is that we have we have the map bans coming through and finally the picks. Yeah, so we have Nuke being banned, Dust 2 being, or excuse me, Mirage being banned, so that brings us to, as we said, Rebirth choosing Inferno, our second map, the choice of Grazur being Train, and then finally, if we see a third map, it's going to be Overpass.
Overpass, overpass, overpass. I'm here for it. I like it. I like Overpass. Give me the bet. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say Rebirth. lose their map pick. Grazur, clutch out Inferno. All right. And then Rebirth are going to swing back and take the second map and force that third map. That's what
Ooh,
I'm calling.
that's a ballsy statement right there. I mean,
Hey, you got to get out on the ledge sometimes and just full send it, dude. You got to live for it. But we are getting underway here. Pistol round, map number 1 is a go.
yeah, it looks like we're going into this. Rebirth are starting on their CT side. And we do, excuse us, we do have the teams on the wrong side, so we are going to be switching that in a second. Rebirth are on the other one. But anyway, so far we have a pretty normal buy from both of these teams. We actually don't have a kit for Rebirth, which is really surprising, but we do have 3 pieces of armor and then upgraded pistols on 3 of the players, as well as some molly, some utility. And then Grazur Esports also 3 with armor and then utility across the board. And it looks like they are planning to go towards B. They do already have this banana control.
Yeah, Soul Goat Maxwell, they're looking ready to hit. The smokes are out. The mollies are in as well. Got it ready for that that new box position. Sherp's going to have to move very quickly, but the flash is raining in, and the XQ's here, but AGN here to hold the line. He finds the first, gets raided out by Outhauls, and it's quick. Sherp's last line of defense in the B bomb site, dancing around the box, not going to find anything just yet. 2 for 1 as the T's are going to get the bomb planted. 3 versus 4 retake.
Yeah, this is already a difficult retake because that smoke is going to slow them down a little bit. Finally, the nades are going to fade out, but
next time,
this is a difficult place for these
when you
players
throw
to
that
come
smoke, I'll
in
fight
from.
with you.
I mean, 2 players towards
I'll get
Cat,
behind the
just
smoke
with
with you.
2 players playing towards that back church position. If you kill one, you don't expect the second to be there. And actually, I love this double stack up from both of these, or all these players from Grazur, the way that they're stacking up together. I mean, look how well it worked. Ooh. Ooh.
Dalton with the nice spicy little 3K. He's going to close out that round, no problem. He's got his big boy pants on. He's ready to come. He's ready to play. He's ready to shake things up, make things happen. And that's a great way for Grazur to start out the round here. They're going to go ahead and be pretty happy with that. Force, no, sorry. Sezzy buys the Nova. Not a surprise there. He's going to end up having the op a couple of rounds from now. I thought they forced for a second. I saw the Nova and I got a little freaked out, but not going to be the case just yet here.
Yeah, I am interested to see where that's going to be playing. It is kind of close towards bracket, but I guess it's a question of whether or not it actually gets put to use, because while they are pushing up towards mid, they are also kind of just poking and prodding towards banana, and they could get that control if they want, but oh, Modern definitely heard that player.
Yeah, that's going to be... Oh, they heard it, but the swing is not good. Dalton's going to find both dinks down, but the farming value from that Mac-10 putting in so much work, and that's an open A bomb site, except for the pit player here, or Denya, excuse me, from Apps, not pit. He's going to find a dink, but again, no kills for these CTs, and AGN and Sherps are a long way away. The flank, not here just yet, and maybe play for exits, try to get a few kills, do what you can, but this round is done and dusted.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure what these players can do. Of course, they should go for these exits because they didn't buy a single thing. They're just sitting on their USP, so there's no real point in saving. But it looks like we are actually having a bit of a hunt come through from these players. Solgoat fighting the first, and Maxwell on the flank for the second onto Sherps. So they just want to make sure that these players can't save anything over for the economy. They're doing their best to make sure it doesn't happen.
I think the idea behind saving here is that it's just less money you give the T's, right? The Mac-10, that $600 bonus, that's a lot of extra value that they get that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And all 5 players survive here. So Grazur Esports are probably going to go for a bonus round, I would anticipate.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they don't need to buy up. And honestly, I love to see aggressive, SMGs, especially on stuff like that, because... it's just cool stuff to see. I love the aggressive plays. This nade might do a little bit of damage, but nothing.
Yeah,
but
speaking
as we said,
of aggressive SMGs, yeah, Drew and Soul up already right through the smoke, and they catch the CTs completely by surprise, but maybe not as surprised as I thought. Sherps shuts him down, finds 3 of his own, and before you can blink, Outhauls lurking last alive, bottom of banana. Finds a nice shot on Modern. Okay, makes it a 1 versus 2, but still, not anything else. Sherps gets a 4-piece. Holy buckets, what a hold.
Yeah, the man is ready for his first win. Rebirth find their first. And I mean, that was a very, very nice hold coming through from him. Look at how beautiful this is on the replay. They just wanted to come alive and stuff, and it looks like now this is going to be the first gun round as this replay comes to an end. Both teams with their rifles. We actually do see Modern toting the Swag 7, but it may be able to put in some work.
Yeah, it may. Time will tell. It's a scuffed by, to say the least. And hi, Colsey, are you proud of me now, Dad? I do see you in the chat over there. Sorry, just had to get that out. So, a bit of a default from both teams. Interesting to note that Rebirth has forfeited banana control, and they're going to be punished for taking abs as well. Modern dead before he can blink, and Solgo's looking for more. Spas says he's shoulder, not going to be able to confirm anything just yet, but
Ooh.
Maxwell punishing AGN for trying to re-aggress into banana, and Sezzy peeking mid. He's going to get taken down too! They're just falling one after another here. Rebirth being absolutely devastated. Denya can't even find the spray on Drew. That's another kill going the way of Grazur. It's been non-stop for these T's. Every single kill has come up sunny side up for Grazur, and now Sherps, well, what can he do? He can save, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, that was just such a great, spread of aggression from Grazur. They just won those opening duels. Also, that boost that Maxwell used to get that kill onto Banana.
That was filthy.
Yeah, I love to see that. And Grazur just, I mean, that's kind of a heartbreaking round for Rebirth because they find their first, so they finally are able to buy in, or they use the money that they bought into that first that they found to go into this one as well. But them losing this round means that their economy is going to be broken, and also since they won a round, that's going to lessen their loss bonus. So now this next round, they almost have to once again go into some sort of force or save. They aren't going to hunt for the gun on Sherps, so luckily they do get at least the AK, but that's it.
Dude, that economy is looking brutal for Grazur because they kept 5 alive and Rebirth have to save here. So they're looking at probably at least 3 or 4 alive again. Starting to build some money, and it's early in the half yet for this to be happening. So we'll see how things shake down, but Rebirth are looking a little rough here so far on the CT side. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I kind of maybe called this. Cast is cursed. It's really early in the game to call it for Grazur. I'm just saying they look sharp. They look delicious.
Yeah, I mean, your prediction so far is coming true, but you did say Grazur are going to clutch it out in Inferno, and so far they're not clutching, they're coming out on top, so...
Okay, you're nitpicking,
I'm just saying that if there's going to be clutching, at this point it has to come through from Rebirth, or Rebirth have to come alive early and make it so Grazur have to clutch. So I'm just saying, if you really are someone who can predict the future, we're going to see a much closer game than we're seeing right now.
Okay, fair point. And speaking of, it could get close here on the B bomb site as 4 players stacked towards this position, and the T's do look to execute here, although it's a little bit lurched, it's a little bit stalled. They're waiting for info from the top of mid. Drew lurking, and they might find the open A bomb site. They haven't executed, they haven't committed yet, but just 40 seconds left as the smokes fade.
Yeah, I mean, Grazur are in a difficult position where if they were going up against a buy, the smokes and mollies from the side of Rebirth. This
Here we go, baby. Dalton, first one out. He tries to find Sherpa. No, he's going to go down. The rifle putting in work. And oh my God, AGN and Modern over the edge of that smoke getting boosted up. But Outhauls is here to save the day. Finds 2, makes it 2 versus 1 again. But they don't know Sezzy's on site. Sezzy's still here. Behind the smoke, he's going to get spammed, though. They're ready for it. Grazur. Wow, Rebirth, the stack, it made it close. It was a little nervous for Grazur there, but they did end up winning the round at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was a little bit hectic, and I mean, at the end of the day, that was a really good save for Rebirth. They dropped a lot of guns for the side of Grazur. Hurt that economy a lot. Now Maxwell, Sogo, and Dalton, all their economy is not broken, but much worse than it would have been. And ooh, I like this boost we're seeing from Modern just to get up here to get a little bit of a better angle. Don't know if we'll actually see that come into, any sort of fruition in this round, but maybe. And also that nade was wonderful onto Dalton there.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Tag down to 45 health. That's absolutely insane. Goes to shoulder peek. AGN spots it, but can't find anything. Information gained nonetheless. Grazur have taken banana control again. They've been really good about this early pressure. I talked about before the game started how important that was, denying the information from the CT side. But oh my God, who needs information when you can just spray through the smoke blindly and find a kill like AGN? And meanwhile, execute on A slide's getting picked apart too. 2 versus 4 now, as Maxwell and Outhauls wonder what the heck happened to their teammates.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a great... Crossfire isn't the right word because it wasn't cross, but Just a great bait and peek coming out from those players where they all, one would fire, and the second the attention was on that player, another player would come into the picture to divert that attention and information. It was just so perfect to split the attention of the Grazur players, and I actually really like this boost coming in as well, to get Outhall's more information on the site. It's a little bit of a rerun of the peak we just saw, the boost we just saw, but it's not really going to net any information.
Yeah. They took too long to get onto the site. So this is something I want to point out here. They just died. I knew that was going to happen because something really important to note. These CTs, Rebirth Esports, had time to clear Banana. They got the info. They had the rotate right behind Grazur. Like, Grazur took way too long to push A. They need to go quicker than that if they want to have a chance of winning ground. Even if they get those kills, they're gonna die to the rotate almost for sure. I don't see them winning that. But regardless, Rebirth gonna very much need a round here.
Yeah, but they have to be careful of this fast aggression. Grazur trying to change the pace, just bolting around corners, looking for these players. They almost get one, but the nade hits them in the face. Dalton, though, going to take down the first player, Modern, falling to the AK, and now alone on the site is Sezi. Finds one, but dropped, and quickly Grazur get the site. 4 players alive.
Yeah. Grazur decided to mix it up a little bit, hit the first bomb site B a few times in a row, but look at AGN. He's lurked all the way up. They don't have info on him. Spots out the first player. Maybe he didn't have the trigger discipline he should have had. Gonna get traded out by Outhall. He was in a great spot. They didn't see him. He could have maybe looked around, spot out another player or two, given himself a little bit of a better chance. Regardless, I'm not gonna give him too much hate. It was still a pretty rough situation to be in. But yeah. Grazur beat it back 5-2 now.
Yeah, I mean, I really like that call from Grazur. They just realized the reason they lost the last round was because they let Rebirth get into these very powerful boosts and crossfires early in the round. And so they say, hey, let's not give them time to breathe to figure out where they want to set up these crossfires. Let's take it fast and hard and push it right into the middle.
Hey, dude, I know a lot of people who like taking it fast and hard. What can I say? That is an excellent, excellent point. And just like that, another... Force coming in here for Rebirth, mostly Deagles, a couple rifles, an SMG or 2, but it looks like could be another B execute. Time will tell. Not a committal by any means, but there is a bit of a lean towards this bomb site. And I want to point out Sherps on top of these boxes. First line of defense gets flashed off. Not a lot he can do there. Doltz behind the smoke, biding his time. This is so interesting. Look at this positioning from. It's a fake. Ooh. They're doing what they can. Drew lining up the smoke in apartments. I don't know how this is going to go. Denya is here with Sezi. This could be absolutely brutal. Yeah, the Molly might clear him out, though.
Oh, it definitely will. If they drop that Molly, it's screwed. I really like that Rebirth just hold on to that, though, and the fake doesn't dissuade them. But yeah, they back off now, and oh, Sezi, don't be caught with your knife out, buddy. He does find 1, 2, 3! Looking for the 4th! Almost gets it, but not quite. Sezi drops, as well as his teammate, but Modern is going to find Drew, and now it's a 3 versus 1 damage on Adult, and he gets taken down.
Oh,
beautiful
my
3K.
God. Can we get a replay on Sezi? That was absolutely devastating. My lord. That man ate his Wheaties for breakfast. I can tell. Not sponsored by Wheaties. All right, it was just a
he ate his name brand cereal for breakfast.
His name brand Sezi TM cornflake holes. Yeah, those are what he ate.
That nade! Look at that. Dalton gonna go quickly trade back.
Okay.
That nade was devastating.
Dude, yeah, I this round's going about the way you'd expect it to go, but maybe Dalton can give us something to look at here. There are only 2 players in this bomb site, so a headshot or 2 could net the T's a bomb plant at the very least. All 3 of them now waiting behind the smoke. A re-smoke in, and it's not going to work. The trades come through. Soko finds the first. Sherps takes too long to kill him, and Maxwell's there to trade it back. 2 versus 2 after plant, and guns. A gun should get collected for both these players. Sezi right in front of the smoke. Going to get fully blind. Beautiful push from Dalton. Gets the info on the second player as well. Maxwell still yet to collect a gun, though. He's going to stick with a Deagle here.
I don't think he needs anything. He's going to walk right into this. Yep, he's going to walk right into this crosshair.
Oh, no!
Modern is going to win the peak. Just a missed headshot coming through from Maxwell. And Rebirth find their 4th on what should have been a much cleaner round, but was pushed and pulled apart by a great B take.
Yeah, a great B take that was, and I can't help but notice Mistress Alana in that chat there. Hi, Mistress. You're going to take my dignity as well because you told me to say that. But we are here, Grazur Esports, 5 versus 4. They managed to pull back another round. What am I saying? CT's won that. I'm a little lost right now. Excuse me. But then you flashed off mid. Gonna have to fall back to Arch side, and it's gonna be a rush again from the likes of Grazur Esports. Already up Arch, Solgoat and Drew are here to wrap the A bomb site, but there are 3 CTs in this anchored. Not gonna happen though. Modern and Cezzy are gonna drop like flies. Denya right behind them. Before you can blink, it's over. All 3 of these CTs have fallen. And what are you gonna do? You gotta save.
That is a save call, and I mean, Rebirth they gave up way. I think Rebirth, honestly, even though they're having a pretty close game, not simple. Yeah, simple. He's in the server. He may
He
show
might
up for
be,
one of
dude.
these teams later. We'll see.
Maybe
But
he's observing. Someone slip him a link. Who knows? He could be here.
yeah, Simple's in the house, but we don't know where. He might be in the attic. But my point was, I think they respect Grazur almost too much, where the point where the second they knew a rush was coming in, they all came and tried to hold the one short angle, but they gave up like arches and everything, and Grazur just took that push through it and got, I think, pretty much 2 free kills because of all of that map space. 2 kills on players that weren't looking towards them. That's something where Rebirth, they should be dropping mollies and smokes, fighting for that land at least a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. For all my talk of map control and denial of information and everything, Grazur are just kind of throwing all that to the wind and just running Rebirth down, and it's working. They're just taking them down. They're winning this game. And it's happening again. Drew rushing up Arch, not giving these CJs any time to plant, but Cezzy is here. He's ready. The pistol might hold as well. Drew is rushing too far up. His teammates aren't here to trade, but Cezzy's still alive, finds another one, dancing around the edge of that ass department. He's going to do what he can to hold on, but it's not much longer. The bomb will get planted. 2v2 retake. Do they expect AGN this close, though?
The fact that Cezzy gets 2 there is great. I loved the push from him, just the read on the fast aggression from Grazur to progress himself and catch them somewhere. But the fact that he's able to swing out and get a second without being held is amazing. And AGN is going to get 1 more. So now it's all on to Maxwell to hold the site. Gets a little bit of damage, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. He's trying to find the head. He finds the first, and he's just looking for the second, hunting, but he finds the heads. Maxwell with the 1 versus 2 clutch.
Done and done. He got it. Taken out to the bank. Go ahead and sign that check. That is a round secured. Grazur Esports up 7 and well on their way to winning the half. A half which is generally considered to be CT sided, I would expect. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that's the case.
That is the meta as agreed upon.
Alrighty. Excellent. I wasn't wrong. That doesn't happen very often. I got to toot my own horn when I'm right about something. So, Dalton, another half buy, save, eco, whatever you want to call it, Rebirth again. Not where they need to be monetarily, economically. Dalton might get caught with a flash out. Not going to happen. No swings and actually whiffs the shot, but fully blind. Sherp's going to repeat. Free kill. Opens things up towards B. Only 1 more player here. Solgoat just barely missing the wall spam over towards Apps. Drew not going to miss the head of Modern. Dinks him through the edge of the wall. And Cezzy, hello, Mr. Auto Shotty, doing what he can to neutralize these kills, but Drew is ready and waiting, holding the line. The kills go the way of Grazur Esports, and they win the round.
Yeah, Drew had a beautiful mow down there. We are going to see the replay of it. Just the fact that he knew another player would probably be coming that way and decided to hold down that spray and find both of them, as well as the spray control to find both of them. That's some aimbots right there. That man has probably been in the warm-ups.
Some next level shot, if I can say that. Yeah. Rebirth finally get a buy-in. A little bit worse for wear. No ops to speak of. Not that you really need one, but it can be useful to have. The flash through. Cezzy whips the spray. Not blind, but it doesn't matter. The trades come through. Denya, though, they weren't expecting 3 players stacked up towards Arch. It pays off. Ooh. Tapping away. AGN can't find it, but Denya will again. The spray control not quite there for Outhauls this time. 1 versus 1 as Maxwell finds him through the edge of the smoke, and it's a retake for Sherps. No kit, but utility in hand and armor to speak of. Maxwell does manage to escape and somehow find himself a decent afterplant.
Yeah, he's going back. I was about to say I love the way Maxwell is playing this. Just the timing is perfect for him. But actually, this is going to be perfect for him even more so. Smoke in hand takes down Sherps. Yeah, I loved the way Maxwell played that there.
The dude has 300 IQ, the biggest of big brains. Not that I mean, Colin, we all know your brain is just massive, okay? But there's something about that play that just makes me think maybe he's got a little bit on you. Regardless, tactical pause. So maybe we could plug a little bit of our sponsors here while we wait, if you would so desire. I mean, it's up to you. You're the guy with the brains. You know what to
Well,
do.
you know what? I've done it. I've crunched the numbers. I've ran the math, and I think that's a good idea.
I like ideas. Let's do it. All right. Well, first things first. You guys, I am super hyped about this sponsor, and we got a HyperX guys. Like, yeah, those guys, the ones who make the headsets and the keyboards and all that jazz. Yes, HyperX. They are giving away some equipment. They're giving away some stuff. All right, everybody likes stuff, so they are sponsoring us. A big thank you to them. Can't praise them enough. And you might call me a shill, but I am genuinely using a HyperX Cloud 2 headset right now. I've been using it, the HyperX Cloud 2 headset, for like 3 or 4 years. I've got nothing but good things to say. It's comfy. I can game for hours and hours and hours and just keep going. The sound quality is really good, and the mic quality is actually not bad for a headset mic either. It's pretty solid. So yeah, nothing but good things to say about that on that end, at least. Colin, anything to add?
I mean, yeah, HyperX is always been in my eyes and most other people's eyes a really solid company. They're company that I always, I mean, any company can at the end of the day make a keyboard, and HyperX, they can make a damn good keyboard, a damn good mouse, and a damn good headset. But one thing that I really like that they do is how invested they are just in the community that they build as well. The way that they interact with the people who have their products, the way that they're willing to outreach and help people with their products. So that's why I think that you should buy from them, as well as the fact that they are sponsoring us. But I just think that they have that good mindset of a company. So
You
that's
know,
my
I've
2 cents.
I've actually had friends joke with me that I should be sponsored by HyperX because of how much I hype up their headset. But so it's pretty cool that I'm actually casting for Golden League when they're sponsored by HyperX. But genuinely, I can say that like one of my friends has a Razer headset. It was a really good one. I forget what the name of it was, but it was like their super high end $180 headset. And that's a good headset. Don't get me wrong. It's a good headset, but like the HyperX Cloud 2, you could buy it for $100 at the time, and the quality was like exactly. They're both phenomenal headsets. Razer, you really pay for the name there. You have to pay a lot of extra money for the branding, and that's kind of what they do. HyperX, not so much. You can get a top of the line headset, very reasonably priced, and yeah, I mean, we're still waiting for Bot Kevin to get on out of here and get some new players in here, some fresh faces. Come on, Bot Kevin, you got 0 kills. What are you doing?
Yeah, he's doing pretty poorly in the server. You know what? I think he would need to do better. I think he would need to have some cool gamer apparel coming from Sector 6. If you are some sort of organization or team, I'm proud of that one. If you're an organization or team looking to get merchandise for your players, for your organization, to bring your organization to the next level and look professional at your next LAN, then Sector 6 have you covered. From t-shirts to hoodies to hell, even cool hats, maybe. And when I'm talking cool hat, I mean like a fedora. It's not there yet, but I'm in contact with them. I've told them, I think you should make a fedora. And they've said, yeah, we'll consider it. And I think that's a yes. But my point is, if you need something done, if you need to look professional and bring your game to the next level at that LAN, then Sector 6 is your way to go.
Sector 6. Wow. That was I couldn't have said it better myself. I actually spent most of the last season misunderstanding what Sector 6 did and what the apparel they had was, but yeah, they do good stuff. Go ahead and get something from them. Get yourself something nice, splurge on yourself because you deserve it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you deserve it, and so does Bot Kevin. Someone buy Bot Kevin a Sector 6 t-shirt or something. Come on.
Yeah, we'll get the bot team going on soon, but hopefully a team that we do see back in the server sometime soon is Rebirth. We are waiting on, I believe it was Modern who? Yeah, Modern is out of the server right now. So we are waiting
Also,
on him to get back.
Yeah, we're still waiting on Modern. While we're waiting, I gotta toss you guys a question. Cullen or maybe some of the observers or other people in the production here. This might be kind of scuffed that I'm asking this now, but I'm not really sure. Do we have like some kind of MVP pick where we have an MVP in for an interview post match, like once the series is over, where we talk to them and do casts and stuff with them? Do you know?
I don't know, but I mean, I'm sure it's possible, and I'm sure it's something that we should be looking out for in the future. But more importantly, freeze time has um
It ended, but then it started again. Oh my god.
oh, so we had a player join and another player left, and Grazur being, of course, the ever kind, ever caring team. Yep, the Grazur went ahead and actually did a timeout of their own to make sure all the players could get in. So now we are in and about to get into the next round.
That is fabulous. Fantastic to hear. So, we see another half invest coming in here for the CTs. Sherps burning alive. The Russian banana not coming to fruition. Grazur say, get out of here. That's our job. We're the ones who rush stuff. And
Rush is a pretty strong word for what just happened. Sherps just held shift as he casually walked into the molly.
Yeah, his leisurely stroll, admiring the flowers and the car that doesn't exist anymore. And meanwhile, oh, look, I happen to be running alive. Interesting push from Modern up the right side of mid. I was yabbering on about cars, and all of a sudden, I'm just watching Modern kill people left and right, and AK recovered. 3 versus 3. We got ourselves a round, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen and everybody else who may be tuning in.
That
3
was
versus 3.
I mean, Modern. The first one there was just he was smart to peek that, check it, whatever the word is you want to use, whatever word that I remember how to use. But then AGN is actually going to get 2. Excuse me, I'll come back to that point later. He finds 2 with the CZ and makes this super winnable for his teammates. That's amazing.
Yeah, and that's it. Maxwell gonna go down right away. Barely gets the bomb planted, and Rebirth steal one away. Could be a big momentum shifter for them, but at the same time, the half's almost over. So it's a good consolation prize so far, but they've still got a little bit of an uphill battle. That being said, if they finish 6-9, they win the pistol, it's basically a tied game again. Like, they're not that far behind. Considering Grazur won the first pistol, if they can get 6 rounds, it's not the worst thing in the world. And also, before I give it back to you, Colin, I just want to say, I screwed up. When you plug the casters, you're supposed to mention the links, dude. There's links below the stream. You can go click on stuff, and stuff will happen. There's windows that pop up, so go ahead and start clicking below, guys. And yeah, Grazur.
Oh, Denya finding the first 2 with the op. He said, we'll come back to the links later.
Oh, the punch from Sherpa! Oh, he ran all the way down banana, the flank secured, and that's the bomb, and that's probably the round as well. Dalton, I know you're good, but you're just not good enough to do that. AGN shuts him down. Rebirth, yeah, 6-9 half, kind of like what I said. I mean, I don't know, man. How do you think this game's gonna turn out? You got any prophecies yet? Throw something at me.
I mean, with Rebirth attacking, they get to set the pace. I think, a 6-9 first half is definitely a nice half, but there's not much. What am I saying? That now that they get to set the pace, Rebirth are pretty much in. They're in control of their own fate here. They're whichever. Basically, they just have to take control of this half.
Speaking of fate, I'm going to pause you there because the rush is coming in mid. Dalton swarming with the rest of his team, trying to do what he can. They catch these players completely off guard. AGN not there, but the swing is in anyway. Gonna finally find a head. Holy crap, 1 versus 2 now as Drew is left alone. Oh, make it a 1 versus 1 with the bombs getting planted A. And no kit for Drew. Does pick one up though, so 1 versus 1 retake now. Is he going to expect Sezzy to be pushed all the way up to Boiler?
Yeah, I don't know. That I'm super surprised Rebirth come out on top there, but Sezzy has the position. He's totally outplayed him. He hears him going past, and this is going to be the perfect peek, but don't whip the shot. 5 health left on Drew. He's going to go ahead and hold the bomb, but he is going to get peeked. Sezzy not going to hit the shot. Sezzy, careful now, bud. Once again, Drew is going to just tap that bomb.
Drew!
What is happening? What is happening?
No! He had like 3 chances, and I mean, they weren't the easiest shots to hit, but that's so sad. Drew played it really well. He was baiting Sezzy out. I don't know why Sezzy was peeking so much. I mean, I understand because Drew might have had a kit, and he did have a kit. But
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. The Force Buys in. Grazur are not going down without a fight. The Scouts, the Deegs, the Swag 7, they're all out in spades. Maybe we'll see something exciting happen.
Yeah, that was such a hectic round for both sides. That was played, I mean, borderline perfectly from Sezzy, definitely in the afterplant, finding that positioning. But now, both sides, honestly, their buys don't look that different. Of course, Rebirth have the better guns, the AKs, the Galil, the SMGs, but Grazur, I wouldn't be surprised if they, they manage to steal this round away. It's definitely a possibility. I think Rebirth will take it, but I'm not counting Grazur out of this round just yet.
All it takes is a few scout headshots to swing things, and we'll see. Dalton behind this fountain. He's dancing. The tag is going to be followed up by Maxwell, who finds a second. What an insane headshot. The first one was good. The second one was, holy crap. That's going to give Rebirth something to think about. 5 versus 3, no trade going back the way of Rebirth, and the guns are going to be recovered as well. This is worst case scenario for the terrorists here.
Yeah, I mean, they repositioned towards A, but this has been red. They have one player now rotated over towards that, excuse me, what is that? What is this position called? I'm having a moment.
Arch?
I'm having a brain fart.
Side?
Arch, there it is. That's what that's called.
There's 4 players on A, basically, and the rush is in. AGN's got 1 HP.
Oh,
the Swag 7 finds the long range triple kill. That was beautiful.
What a round from Grazur. I was just saying, I'm not counting Grazur out of this yet. They could definitely take it back. And not only do they take it back, they take it back in style. 2 great 1-Deeks. Yeah, 2 great 1-Deeks and 3 swag 7 kills. One of those was long range as well.
Yeah, he was lucky. He was already tagged up by that scout, but a kill's a kill. You take that, the nade stack in mid, not going to find anything, but Modern forced here, so interesting play from Denya and Modern, both forcing. The rest of their team staying around that $1,000 mark, so I'm not really sure what the play is there, but Rebirth are probably going to have to save 2 rounds in a row in all likelihood, which gives Grazur a chance to build that bank, which is really important for a CT side economy.
Yeah, they just want to get that money up, and Drew is going to go ahead and get the kills. Jesus, 2 great shots. Modern is going to hit him with the deagle back.
Yeah, he got a little cocky maybe. Should have fell back, but he kept repeating. He was feeling it. You know, I can't blame a guy for feeling it. When you're on, you're on. And Dalton is here to help his teammate. He's going to throw the molly a little bit late and could have gotten punished if Modern could hit his head, but not going to happen. The push is shut down. Sezzy left alone with a scout and a dream, making his way up banana, trying to find anything, but these CTs are playing it smart. They're not peeking. They're not giving him 1v1s, which is what he's looking for. I love the discipline from Solgo, too. He's not even peeking banana. They don't need to. They don't need to give him 1v1s. And as I say that, he jiggles it a little bit and takes control of banana. But, whatever, dude. I don't know. Look at what happened, Solgo. Why didn't you do what I told you? Just stay high. Oh, my God. Watch. If Sezzy wins this round, Solgo's going to feel really stupid. All right, I'm just saying.
And you're going to feel really smart. That's the important part.
That is the important part. Look at that shot! It's happening! It's happening! Why would Sezzy plant that? He has to... Okay, his issue now is time, but he's got the read on the banana push too. He's just a little bit out of time. Sezzy's going to lose the round, but what a devastating economy damage done. Grazur lose way more rifles than they should have, and Rebirth still in a... Like, this is still good for Grazur. They're looking at 12-7 now. They're gonna have to save again, but man, Sezzy, where are those shots? That was nutty.
Yeah, those are just some beautiful shots with that scout, especially that second one on the player that was pushing through that smoke. You know, it was just, I mean, that's great decision making under pressure. He was just so calm and collected despite the fact it was a 1 versus 4 at that point. That is great mental fortitude coming through.
Absolutely. I want to point out that Sezzy pushed mid right after Outhall's looked away, so the info isn't there, but it shouldn't really matter because he pushed into apps now anyway. It does look like it's going to be a B head, which is interesting because for whatever reason, Grazur have got info. They seem to be rotating off of B and opting to lean towards A. They're leaving a lot on Drew here, and sure, the op has returned, so maybe that will help out a little bit. But it's a Glock rush, and he actually could get caught here. Finds the first. Excellent job from him. Drew finds, Dalton finds 2, and that is it. That's game. It's not game. It's
Not
round.
game, not quite yet.
I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Okay.
Yeah. And something that can't quite be seen. I think you can see it at home. I'm not sure. Drew the Shrew, he has a clan tag that is just Dalton's name, and this is a few times caused us great confusion as we're trying to cast.
Hey, yeah, I was gonna point that out too. It's not my fault. I keep calling Drew Dalton, man. But
Ooh.
Soul is gonna go for the first pick, early aggressive. Gonna be punished though. Outhauls and misses the op shot, but manages to escape. And the aggression from Banana has found the bomb. 3 versus 3, but bomb in control of the CTs. No bueno for these terrorists. Sezi could catch Outhauls, but Outhauls is ready for it. He's watching. This all comes down to the timing of the push now. He's ready and misses the shot.
Ooh.
No, you gotta hit those, dude. Like, I love you. Dang, though. Still, bomb actually has been given back up by the CTs. They're a little worried about the steps, but not anymore. They find the first. An excellent flashbang. Drew finds a second. 1 versus 1 now. Max almost finds Sezi through the smoke, and Sezi returns the favor. Oh, 300 IQ from Max. Look at this. He's completely repositioning. Says he's going to have no idea he's going to come from our side.
Yeah, that's such a great play from Maxwell. That was a really interesting start to that round, too. The bomb was dropped by Solgoat pushing down Banana, but then they actually lost that fight. But, excuse me, Sezi is actually gun out, predicting that this player is on the fast rotate, and he gets it. Going back to my point, sorry, that was just... Didn't expect that. That was great stuff from Sezi.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why Maxwell pushed that there. I think he just sits library until he hears the bomb gets planted, and then he can push. Like, he had the read correct 100%. He just didn't trust himself. He was greeting for info because he doubted that there was actually a player coming, and he got punished for it. But yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. The play interrupted you, and then I interrupted you. But finish your thought if you got time.
It was interesting how the beginning of that round played out because Grazur win the first opening peak, but then they get traded back by 2 of their players drop after that, and then mid is given up and Rebirth are in a great position, but then all of the sudden 1 player peeks out mid and it's smoked off, so the player bottom mid can't hold Banana for them, and they re-aggress down Banana. So that's just the balls of steel on Grazur to re-aggress where they just lost 2 of their players and actually get the bomb down. That was very impressive.
Yeah, I thought they had the round, not gonna lie. I think that comes down to Outhauls missing his op shot.
Yeah,
100%. If he hits that, the round's just over. But the execute is in here. 3 players towards A, but the fake does its job. Maxwell gets drawn back to B by the utility, and it's all on these 2 players. Drew inside the site to do what he can. His teammates smoked off, so he's just gonna fall. But Solgo finds the trade. Not good enough. That's gonna be a safe call. Yeah, that's
save
over
right away. If they get 2 kills there, if they get 1 more or maybe 2 more kills there, then the retake is a possibility. But that was just such a textbook take of the site. 1 player runs in, finds both of their locations, even gets a kill, that being AGN, and then drops. And finally, I mean, right after that, they know where the other player is, and then everyone else is on the B site off the back of a fake. Rebirth, there's not really a better way you could have played that.
Hey, Colin. The scoreline's getting it's getting a little closer now. 9-12.
It is.
Grazur's going to have to save in all likelihood. They could opt the force round, the M4 and the op, but I don't think it's going to happen. They'll probably try to save the op into the next round again. But anyway, yeah, so we're looking at, in all likelihood, 10-12 here. 1 more gun round stands between Rebirth and tying this game up.
Yeah, that is... I mean, even if they, don't want to get too far ahead of myself, and maybe if they get ahead, then maybe... I don't know, Grazur will have to clutch out the first map, because I believe someone, not going to name any names.
I was going to say it. I was thinking about it, and like, there was a guy I heard who was predicting that Grazur clutches out the first map. So, I don't know, like, maybe that guy was, he's a prophet or something. Who knows? Time will tell, but it is going to be the save here. None of these players are getting too crazy. They're going to go ahead and leave the 2 rifles to hold on to the B bomb site. And yeah, this is going about how you'd expect it, though. Drew gets walked completely past, and he's going to find the free kill. Some nice headshots on Denya lined up easy as pie, and hopefully that little distraction will make it easier for his teammates to save their rifles. 2 versus 4 is a lot easier to save than 2 versus 5, because Rebirth's economy is not great, so they might opt to just hold on to their guns.
I don't know if you saw, but I believe it was Modern when he was pushing up into apps. He killed those two players, and both of those kills, as he killed them, they both had a Zeus out and tried to Zeus him, but both of them were just slightly too far away.
Oh, that's so sad. That would have been fun to see. Yeah, you're right. I did miss that. So maybe we could get a replay on that if we had a little something going on with the observer. But I don't know. No, that could happen, I suppose. Anyway, yeah. So 6 players survive here.
That was
These
yeah.
GTs just barely don't get caught. Says he not in a big hurry to push that off. And yeah, Grazur hold on to the op, which is I think that's really important for them. They wouldn't have might abide otherwise unless Mac wanted the glass cannon, but
Yeah. Eh, whatever. Just hold on to the armor for now. This round, I think this round could be the make or break round for both of these teams. If Grazur win this, they most likely find probably at least one other. Rebirth do have enough money to possibly go into the next round, but Grazur, they can go up to 13, possibly even 14. That's four-round lead. That's giving them a very comfortable lead. But if Rebirth win this one, they're probably bringing it to a tie game, and that's giving them their into this map.
oh yes. Oh yes. Rebirth are here and they're ready. They can smell it. They can smell Grazur. Grazur have had to lead the entire game and Rebirth want it. They're coming for it, but they gotta take it. Grazur are not looking to give it away. They're gonna have to take it if they want it. And they're taking a while to take it, and I'm saying take a lot. I'm sorry about all the taking that I've taken away, but the takeaway from all this taken is that Rebirth are grouping up towards nowhere. They're still defaulted. They got 50 seconds left. The clock's ticking down. They're grabbing the bomb. Who knows where they're gonna go? It's madness. Madness, I tell you.
Yeah, it looks like they are heading up towards Banana. They do have a lot of upper Banana control pretty much for free. I think it was just a flash and maybe a molly that got them there. They don't have a very large amount of utility left over, enough to molly out some of the site and get onto the site, but the retake is going to be difficult. They're going to be going up against 5 players, or possibly, I guess, 3 after this, but
EGN just walks out. The Molly's gonna deny him, but Drew kills 2. They push through the Molly anyway, and just like that, the entire take is dismantled. Rebirth is stopped in their tracks. Chugga chugga choo choo, the train has stopped. It hasn't even reached the station. They haven't reached anything. Sherps is desperately trying to get the bomb down. Somehow he actually manages to cross and has planted, but still a 2 versus 4 after plant. It does not look good.
yeah, and Sherps, this fight, if he wins it, it's possible, but Denya gone now. It's Sherps in a 1 versus 4. He has to hold a site while getting pushed in from all angles. The fact he even gets any damage on any of them is, I mean, that's more than I expected.
Dalton, a little bit of BM sitting in the Molly, but yeah, who was that? That was Denya with the op, or was that Sherps with the op? Anyway, whoever, Denya, I think, kind of whiffed there. That was a big kill for him, and he just dropped the ball. Just didn't seem to register that there was actually a CT there. He had a really delayed click, but Benio, I see you in the chat. 1K Robux on Grazur? Well, my friend, you might have just made yourself 1,000 Robux because Grazur are looking really strong. 13 to 10. Now, is it, clutch is a subjective term. If Rebirth had like the beginnings of a comeback and then Grazur managed to stop that momentum, that's kind of a clutch, right? Because yeah, you follow my logic. You follow my logic. You're a smart guy. You know what I'm talking about.
I understand the logic. I don't know if I agree with it, but Dalton does agree with the fact that you think they're going to win this map because he does find the first kill, dropping a player on this force buy up from Rebirth. They're going to last by for a round or 2 now, so they have to be careful.
Careful is not in their vocabulary, dude. They are speedy lightning boys, and we're seeing it again. Molly, though, gonna stop that speed. And Dalton's gonna use that to peek and just take Sherp's head off real quick. Nice, clean, precise headshot. Decapitation at its finest. And now, interesting positioning here from the terrorists because their bomb is sitting at T-steps. I don't think they realize this. Has somebody told them? Somebody tell them that they're executing the bomb site with all of their remaining utility, and none of them has the bomb.
Well, I don't think it matters.
I'm sensing some tilt coming in for Rebirth because they left the bomb T-steps. Like I feel like they're a little disgruntled. They need to take a deep breath. Just play some soothing sounds through their HyperX headsets and just kind of reset.
They need to play some good tunes through their HyperX headsets. Just take a deep breath while they're in their Sector 6 apparel. Just take a moment. And I'm actually kind of surprised they buy into this, because while they are just playing for the win instead of overtime, it's dangerous because if they lose this, then that's match point for Grazur, and they don't have a buy, and they don't even have a full buy now. So, you know, it's a very ballsy call, and it has to go well. But I mean, they already have a leg onto AGN coming through from the op on B. But Sezi is going to find the first head, so maybe this buy is worth it. He is able to get down, but he's being held by the op. He's able to get up and find one more. Dalton is finally going to trade him, but that's a ticket into the round for his teammates. They're pushing the site. Dalton has the nade out, but he gets one before he drops. 3 versus 2 now, but the bomb is heading towards the site. This round is looking like it may actually go the way of Rebirth.
Yeah, it'd be a hell of a one for them to steal away. Still, though, never count Drew out. The dude has had one heck of a game so far. Maxwell as well, 18 and 10 on him, so who knows? AGN does recover the AK, so they're up against 3 rifles, and it looks like they just picked up an op, so maybe the CTs will just opt to save the double op setup. I don't know. But
yeah,
they do. In a big hurry to take the site, yeah.
They do immediately have a save. I think Drew is just going to stick around, try to get some exits, and he might... Oh, he sees the player, but no shot. He is just going to try to play it quiet, not drop to that as they run off and possibly hunt. I think that's, yeah, AGN trying to figure out where one of these players is, just going up that banana position, but it's being held, so I doubt they get this player. In fact, Maxwell's probably going to drop one of them. He does, takes down AGN, and that's about it for this round.
Beautiful, and interesting... Yeah, excuse me. Words are hard. An interesting thing to note here is that Rebirth needed that gun. Their economy is not great. We see AGN buying a UMP now. It would have been nice if someone could have dropped him an AK there. So, still, the economy definitely favoring Grazur. The double op setup is out. Drew going for the peek. Steps into the molly. Full blind and actually manages to get away. Okay, dude, that was nutty. Dalton trades himself out, and he executes up our side. Rushing through the molly. Has a lot of damage. Sherps took care. Puts himself in one kill headshot range. He's sticking to plan. His teammates aren't even on the bomb site. This is incredibly ballsy. And he manages to get a smoke down. It somehow works out. But Smoke's not got the shot. That's going to go down to Sherps. And Maxwell lining up the molly. 3 versus 3 retake. Double ops. This is going to be hard for Grazur. There is delay utility from the side of Rebirth. They've got mollies. They can throw down another smoke. I think if you're Grazur, you just kind of back away and save here. But they're going for it. They're committing. Maxwell pushing. First one in. Can't trade his teammate. That's 2 dead. And Outhals is going to just try to escape and get away. Decides to repeat and take one with him, but that results in his untimely demise. We were counting Rebirth out. We were saying they were looking tilted and struggling, and they were buying when they shouldn't be. But they might be trying to prove us wrong here. 12-14 now as they steal another one away and force finally a reset from Grazur, saving and just pistols.
Yeah, that round just persisted off of very specific timings. I mean, the fact that Drew gets that shot down banana while full blind, and then holding that plant on site, and then just who was planting there? Was it Denya or Sherps?
That was Sherps, I think, who just ran up Hail Mary and planted.
Yeah, Sherps slightly moves to their left and falls back onto site right as the player in pit peeked out, so it was perfect time. And I like that we've kind of decided that this round doesn't matter, but okay, never mind.
Yeah, I like the aggression banana. They're going to steal away 2 guns, upgrade a little MAC-10 here, and they're juggling it. Okay.
Ooh, this
should
be dangerous.
Behind the smoke.
Yeah. What I'm really worried about right now is the lack of positioning on the site Rebirth have. It's pretty much Denya alone stopping this take, coming in all from apps. Luckily, Sherps is finally here to help him, but it's a little bit of a very disjointed hold of the site. But Sherps does find the first, Denya the second. It looks like this round is pretty much said and done. Outhauls all alone with the AK. I doubt he can really make anything happen here. And yep, Sherps is just going to make sure that he doesn't do anything and just send him to an early grave.
If I'm Outhauls in that round, I'm thinking, okay, I've got $8,000. The rest of my team is saving. I could drop them like maybe SMGs or something. Instead of a pistol round, make it an SMG round, you know? Maybe give Grazur something else to work with. They're going to force up now, and the op is out. Outhauls might go for the mid peak here. We'll see what he's swinging wide. The molly's down, not going to op it. That's fine. That's a T-sided angle, so no shade there for deciding not to swing out to the stairs. Although there is no op for Rebirth. They've got tons of money, but opt not to buy one anyway. And
Oh.
Maxwell spams the smoke and actually gets the double dodge. Drew finds it. And the timing missed though. Outhauls doesn't spot a player, flicks up and legs him though, and so goes there trade 2 versus 4 anyway. Sherps gonna almost take down Dalton. Damage goes both ways. Rebirth, this is not looking great. Drew staying disciplined, not pushing Banana, not gonna get caught by Denya anytime soon.
Yeah, this is a scary take. I mean, one player low has to be the first player to take the site. And, I mean, there's not many peaks here that he can really win. Denya does have a way to get into the site, but it looks like Sherps is going to be taken down by this mini pit player at some point. If he ever peaks it, yeah, Solgo does finally get the kill, and now it's all on to Denya alone on the site. 1 versus 3, only 2 players here, though, so he can try to isolate the 1 versus 1s, but it's taking damage through the box. He has to get at least one of these kills, if not both of them, if he wants to get the bomb down. Oh, I love this.
Yeah, he's in a desperate spot here. He's trying to find anything he can, any angle he can hold over the top of that smoke. He keeps getting tagged as well. It's just it's a really hard spot to be in. The smoke fades, and his chances of living fade with it. Gonna get taken down by Maxwell and Grazur. Find themselves on match point of Rebirth's map pick. This is Inferno. Tactical timeout called by Grazur. They're going to go ahead and pause that stuff. Sogoat has poop internet, according to Outhauls. I don't blame him. I've got poop internet too. It is what it is. But
it's just part of the game. Speaking of the game, though, we have 3 players on Grazur who have been having wonderful games. All 3 of them sitting at the top of the leaderboard. The only player on Rebirth who is anywhere near their kills is Sezi, and that is Dalton, who's on 23 frags, Maxwell, who's on 21, and Drew the Shrew, who's on 26. So 3 of the players for Grazur right now are having wonderful games. All 5 players are showing up. Actually, all 5 players, or all 10 players in the server, I think have shown up at least in a few rounds for very impactful rounds. So, I mean, I really enjoyed this match we're seeing right now. This has been, just as I predicted, an extremely close and extremely entertaining match.
You know something, Colin? You're right. And when you're right, because you're right. And you really were right about that. It's a close match. But Grazur clutched it out in the end, because that is what the prophecy proclaimed it to be. Dalton with the peak Banana, not going to find anything, but if he peeks a little bit wider, he swings and not going to find the shoulder just yet, but the nade damage will follow up just a little bit here.
I have to be honest, though. I don't know if 13-15 is a clutch for Grazur. I think if we want to see your foretold Grazur clutch,
it has to
we
go
have to see overtime. Yeah, that's the only way that happens.
I don't know. I think the fact that it's a 16-13 or 16-14 on someone else's map point makes it I don't know. We'll see. Outhauls opens things up with the first kill. Dancing around A-box. He's going to get caught by Sherps, though. Great headshot from him. We're going to need more, though. The push is in. Denny's going to burn Solgo, but Drew, they're not expecting him on the bomb site still. Traded out immediately. Good swing from Modern. It makes it a 3 versus 2. The bomb will get planted. And economy is not good for Grazur here. I think you saved this. Yeah. Save call comes in.
There it is. Rebirth find their 14th. And Grazur... I'm not even sure how Grazur go about playing this next one, because Outhauls and Drew aren't really going to be able to buy, so Maxwell is going to have to drop one over.
Well,
so is Solgoat. This is...
Dalton's decked out.
Yeah.
Dalton can probably drop a FAMAS, at least, right? Maxwell can drop an M4. So they'll have 4 rifles, and then Solgoat probably forces an SMG or something, maybe a scout. Who the heck knows? But we'll see what happens. They'll have a pretty good buy. Those 2 guns that are saved are really important, though, for sure.
Yeah, this is, I mean, both a victory for Grazur and overtime are insanely feasible right now. Grazur are going to have a little bit of a weaker buy just because they do have to drop over the FAMAS, but I mean, all in all, this isn't the worst buy I've ever seen. 1 AK, 2 M4s op, and FAMAS. They got rifles. This is the round.
Yeah. This is the marble maker right here. Playing for overtime. Outhauls not going to get anything from that peak Banana, but still a lot of utility used early from the terrorists. There's plenty more where that came from, though. I like Solgoat playing on the flower pots. This off angle can take people by surprise. Smoked off boiler, though. They could look for an arch wrap here.
Yeah, it's very possible. Drew is going to molly them off. I really like how Rebirth, while they didn't take it, they actually won the utility battle on Banana by backing off and then just throwing some lineups down there to mimic a hard take, mimic hard aggression, and it gave them a lot of map control that means that there's a lot less information for Grazur. So this A site, this A take is going to come through with a lot less information for Grazur, and I mean they only have 3 players here instead of the rotated
Speaking of
4th that you
information,
sometimes see.
Drew
Yeah.
pushing up behind the smoke. He's going to walk through this. Oh my god, he's going to catch nobody because Sharps is ready and waiting for it. That's a
Look at this.
really risky play, and it's not going to pay off this time. Outhall's alone on B with the op close range. He's been missing a few. He gets smoked off and stuck on the wall. What is this? Oh my god, it's worst case scenario for Grazur. They completely get caught. Dalton going to die on the flank as well. This is overtime.
Yeah, I mean, unless Maxwell can do something insane, he finds the first, finds the second, looking for a third, but he's getting picked from every angle, just tapping, looking for the heads.
Oh,
he finds
that's
another.
4.
Maxwell, no, he does. Wow, Modern is able to find him at the end, but what an insane attempt coming through at Maxwell, trying to close it out for his team, but no, it is time for overtime.
OT. Dude, we made it. We're here. The promised land. Remember, you said if Grazur need to clutch it out, it has to be an OT. We made it.
It has to be. Now here's the question. For this clutch that you have prophesized, do we think Rebirth Esports win 3 rounds here and then we have to take it to overtime too? Or do you think Rebirth find the first 2 and then Grazur win 4 in a row?
You know, the prophecy wasn't that clear. I can't get into that much in terms of specifics, but
the universe works in just mysterious ways for you.
Oh yeah, We'll see though. We'll see. I have faith in the prophecy. Soul Goat, excellent spot to catch out Sharps here towards Apps, but Dalton's actually going to find the first frag, and Soul Goat gets caught sleeping, staring at Sharps' feet. That's going to be another frag going the way of the T's, but it's traded back by Dalton. Finds a second, the Molly's down, but it's not going to be enough. AGN rushes right through it, finds himself on the A bomb site. Outhauls with the long range pistol, bro. Pull out your op, man. There it is, and gonna get mollied off, gonna get smoked off. 3 versus 3 retake here.
I think Outhauls did have the op and legged Sezi there as he came out onto site, but just was afraid of the push and pulled out his pistol there. Because he didn't quite get the kill there, but it looks like someone is going to get the kill here. Maxwell taking a bit of damage from AG and trying to get back at him. And the flash is perfect.
What a flash.
Outhall,
Molly
perfect
denies
assist.
Sezi doing so much work from such low HP. He's going to get mollied out, though, and he's going to fall. 2 versus 1 now. Modern finds the first head, has to find a second. Not going to happen. 13 HP for Outhauls. That's more than he needs. Excellent play from him, picking up the AK, playing around his teammates. Grazur clutch out the 3 versus 3 retake and get themselves round number 1 of overtime.
That was... I mean, these rounds are just getting closer and closer. It feels like Rebirth are just picking up more and more steam as we go through this. Of course, you know, starting with the 6-9 first half, and then they're just coming alive. And Grazur, of course, they're a very solid team, an extremely solid team. I mean, almost every game I've seen them in, they performed, they've showed up. So the fact that Rebirth are bringing these so close shows, you know, how much they are feeling themselves and waking up. But Solgo feeling himself a little bit more, finding the first, looking for the second, but Modern is going to find it instead, and that is the Apps giving up.
Yeah, but look at Dalton. He pushes up like a madman and just going to spray Sezi down. That's a huge pick. Sezi's been a bit of a rock for these T's and these side holds, and it's a 4 versus 3 now. Scrambling to collect the bomb is Danya while his teammates try to make something happen on our side. The smoke goes down for Library, and look at how far up AGN is, but Maxwell is anticipating it, and AGN's going to lose the dual trade. 2 versus 3 now as Drew is aware of the wrap, but he's in such a strong spot for this with the op. I don't see him losing this. Oh, he misses the first shot. Oh, not the second, though. The quick scope is good, and Denya is alone. Drew flashes himself, but he has a smoke for the molly, which is really important. And the re-peek is good. Excellent flashbang usage from Dalton. Grazur find their second in overtime. They're looking to end this right now.
That was, Jesus, that round. You know what? If Grazur bring this, if they win this overtime right here, I will give you that an overtime win is a clutch. I will give you that.
Oh yeah, especially because the first round was the 3v3 retake. That's a clutch. A 3v3 generally favors the people who are already planted the bomb and are defending.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, at the beginning of the game, my co-caster Aramir, predicted that we would see Grazur Esports clutch out the first map and then Rebirth take the second one. So we are seeing if Grazur can clutch out this map in overtime.
Yeah, they're doing their damnedest. Says he's taking a lot of damage early here. The op is out for the T's, but the flashbangs are not yet. The smoke lineup is in. There's the flash. Maxwell with the molly. This could be a fake. No one's looking for too much here. And yeah, the bomb is still T-steps. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Rebirth always leaving the bomb down there so late into the ground.
I mean, they do still have an entire minute on the clock, so they still have, I mean, feasibly 30 seconds. Yeah, 30 seconds to poke and prod, and then another 30 to take a site. But it looks like they are going to be pushing into this A site now. But this crossfire is really strong. That's one, and in the back of Denya through the smoke. But Denya through the smoke finds him! What a great op shot. Now they're looking for this player in pit. Whether or not they know he's here is yet to be seen, but Solgoat hunting for these heads, trying to find these players. Nothing yet, but he's gonna find the first before he gets traded out by Modern. Now it's all onto Drew. That was such a beautiful take off the back of Denya's op.
Yeah, some life, a flicker of hope here for Rebirth. They do an excellent job. Some nice shots by Denya, especially through the smoke. Almost does it again. Doesn't quite pull the trigger. But Rebirth take one round in the first overtime, but keep in mind that Grazur's best half was their T side. So now that we're switching again, Rebirth might find themselves struggling again.
Yeah, and let's take a look at those top shots again, because that was, I mean, this first one is good, but this second one, look at that. Just right through the smoke. It was a flick, too. It wasn't right on that player.
I hate to see it.
I mean, or you love to see it if you're a fan of Rebirth or a fan of the op.
Let's go, my guy. Yeah, no, it's a nice shot by all accounts. But yeah, so here we are. Second half of OT number 1. Denya with the op yet again. Peeks into the molly. Not going to be rewarded for it, but not punished too much either. So all's well that ends well.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, apart from your profit work, your prediction for the people, I honestly couldn't tell you who's going to take this home. It was Grazur who had the stronger T side, or actually both of these teams had a stronger T side. Grazur did have their best side on their T side, I guess is more specific. So, but still, I mean, this game has been so close that I couldn't tell you who I think is going to take it. Denya is going to be flashed off of Banana, and now that's a lot of information given up, and Denya's alone on the B site.
Alone, but if you wanted somebody to be alone and on B, and op is a good person to have it. But he's pushed up really aggressively, gets flashed off the angle, doesn't manage to escape with his life. He's ready to re-peek, and Dalton is here.
Oh, no.
Not going to get found. That's a serious blunder. That was not Dalton. Oh, my gosh. You hit again, Drew. And look at this. Grazur 3-2 now as they actually swarmed the A-bomb site. It was a prank all along. Solgo tapping through the smoke, trying to bait out information from Sezi. The trade is a long time coming, but eventually comes in 1 versus 2 after plant. They don't know where AGN is. He could win this. Their positionings aren't great, but that molly is going to help out a lot.
Yeah, this slows him down a lot. And also, this positioning is great. He may go for the wallbang here, but it's not something you see super often. But this op hold is perfect on the angle. You can try to bait it out, but no, out hauls is going to hit that shot. He can hit those every day of the week. And now that's a match point for Grazur.
You're right. All right. 18. Yeah, match point again.
Yeah, that was a very hectic round. I mean, the fact that B take comes in, the shot from Denya with the op doesn't connect. Look like it's over on the B site, and then it's actually a take on A. I mean, it's just a collection of jump scares getting rid of what we expect, but looks like now we are just going to go a little bit normal, but 3 players on Banana fighting for control of it is something you don't see super often. I'm actually excited to see what it does. Denya's here with the op as a player, tries to peek for Grazur, but Sezi across the map is going to find one before he goes down. And Denya, I love this! Boost to get the kill onto Dalton and backs off.
Yeah, there's no punishment there. Nothing, no refrag coming through. The CT's going to get away with a clean kill, and suddenly it's looking like we might be looking at a double OT. Still, they got a long way to go, and with Solgo hitting shots like that, it makes it a little bit less likely, but Modern is there to trade, and now
Ooh.
Outhauls hits the shot on the only CT on the bomb site. It will get planted, but does he expect where Denya's pushing from? Denya behind the smoke. Both
Ooh,
these
this
CTs
is
grouped up arch side.
yeah, this is dangerous. AGN is going to be going through the smoke, but Denya takes the damage, and now he's alone with an op. Oh no, he's just gonna back off. Doesn't want to take those fights, but he has to hit these shots right away. He knows where one player is, but the smoke actually
Oh,
blooms before he could see where that molly came from. And oh, I don't know if he can win this. No.
dude, that's it. That's it. That was so well played by them in the bomb site. I love it. I love everything about it. That was absolutely glorious. Grazur win it in overtime.
Yeah.
Prophecy was correct, at least so far. We got part one of the prophecy in the books. But
Yeah, we have one of two pieces of prophecy. Your second part of the prophecy is that Rebirth take map 2, so we will be heading to map 2 soon to see if that is going to be the case.
we'll see. Because one thing I want to point out here is that, like, if this is how the rest of the Golden League tournament goes, we're in for a heck of a tournament, dude. Oh my God! First game that's streamed of the season is going to go ahead and be televised. What am I saying? Oh my God, I'm too excited, dude. It's gonna go ahead and go into overtime. That's insane. Hey, you sit there and clap all you want, Mister. But you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I understand what's being said here. That was an absolutely insane game. We expected a close game. So both these teams are just, insane performers, but I didn't expect it to be that close. I found many rounds where I was at a loss for words, and there were just so many great outplays. Grazur, of course, they have these star players that can hit their shots and hit really, really great shots, as well as they have really ballsy players, which brought them a lot of good rounds, just the way that they're comfortable in their aggression, comfortable pushing into these positions. But also, Rebirth are I guess they're a team that are very open to change. They're a team that can easily change their pace and change it to fit the other team. So I think that's why they were able to hold on for so long on that first map.
So that's a point. That is a point you can make. I would say also that I think both teams, just in general, were stronger on their T side. So Rebirth was more comfortable on that side of the map, and it came out in the regulation. It came out in overtime as well. Moving forward, this is going to be Grazur's map pick now. So Rebirth are, if they're looking to set the tempo, they might have another thing coming, because I'm sure Grazur are licking their chops right now and thinking, man, oh man, are they just lying in wait for what they've got in store for Rebirth? I guess we'll find out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see these teams on train, just because Inferno is a map that you can kind of change up your playstyle on, a whim. It's a map that people know very well and therefore can customize the way they play it on very well. But Train is something that you really see the personalities and the playstyles of teams come out on. So I think it'll be super, super interesting to see just where these teams go from here, how they play on this map that's a lot more rigid in the way you hold, especially on that A side. After that first map, I am insanely excited to see what follows it.
Excited, that may just be, my friend, the understatement of the evening, because I am thrilled. I'm ecstatic. I am just in a state of I don't know, man. I'm trying to use words that I haven't used since AP Lit. It was a while ago. I'm a little rusty. But yeah, I excited. We'll go with excited. I'm excited. We'll see exactly how this shakes out in just a bit. We are on the map. No players in the server just yet, but we're here. The server is up anyway.
I would say that the people that we have to look out for, the players that we should keep an eye on, at least for this round here, is definitely going to be the Oppers. I mean, Train is kind of an Oppers paradise, at least from my perspective. My best games that I've ever had on Train, in my glory days in open ESEA, have always been when I was opping. It's a map that gives you a lot of narrow but long places to hold, as well as a lot of quick flicks that you can see some amazing stuff. So I think people like Maxwell, people like Outhalls, people who've been on the Ops Denya, those names are the people that we should be looking out for on this map too.
Yeah, Denya, we didn't see too much from him. He was a little flat on the first map. I'm hoping we can see him come alive more with that op this time around. And we'll see. You're I was gonna say basically the same thing you said, right? The ops are super important on train. It's something that you can't really overstate. There's so many different ways you can utilize them. You can utilize them in mid, right? In the A area. You can use them towards the words escaping me, towards Ivy, towards the B upper area, towards the lower area. You can use it with the back of oil. There's so many different places you can use them that it's just hard to say how important they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, and also I think a big facet of this, just because it seems to be a very important part of every train game, is going to be the B hold on CT side. How the teams go about holding B, if they're able to do it or not, because a B hold can be a team's make or break. Because even if a team realizes that B is your weakest point, and you realize that they know that, and you try to fix it, if you don't know how to hold B correctly, especially against specific teams, you almost have no space to fix that. So I think if these teams don't have these B holds like locked down to a T, they're going to be in big trouble. But luckily, we are almost ready to get into this game. We do have the players in server just waiting on Grazur to ready up.
Oh yeah. So speaking of B holds, this was Grazer's map pick, so that means Rebirth is starting on CT side, correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
We're gonna be seeing what they can do on their B holds. And there's different ways last teams will play this. Sometimes you'll have one person hold B, and they'll play from somewhere inside the bomb site, up close to trains, just trying to be as annoying as they can and stall for time. And you'll have four players towards A because A can be really hard to hold. In general, there's so many angles that you can play around the bomb trains, but sometimes you'll see two people towards B. So it really depends on the style of the team and how well they are able to lock down A. But B is almost like an afterthought sometimes, and that's not healthy in a lot of cases because it's really easy to take B, right? As a terrorist, you can throw
Yeah.
a couple smokes down, and you're just in the bomb site. It's one of the most common pistol strats in train is to just throw the short smoke and just you're almost guaranteed a bomb plan. But the retake is what's really important because holding onto the B site, unless you have those forward positionings, is really hard.
Yeah, I totally agree. And we're definitely going to be seeing how that plays into this game after this knife round. We do see a battle for which side is which. I mean, it looks like quickly Rebirth just take down all the players except for Outhauls. I mean, it's a knife round, so not really much to say about it, not much to commentate. There's no sick flicks, but
Well,
maybe
I
Outhauls
might
can bring
not
this
be
back.
right, but I'm pretty sure that because there were already picks and bans, the knife round doesn't really mean anything, and the sides have already been decided. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I think that's how it's happening. Nonetheless, Outhall's doing his best to try to clutch it out. Not going to happen though. Has some sick moves though. Props to him for that.
Yeah, almost gets in. Yeah, we do see Rebirth coming through on the CT side, Grazur on their T side as we go into this first map. So I'm super curious to see who wins this pistol round, who gets the momentum first, because I think that's going to be the decider for this first half is honestly this pistol round, who can get those guns out first, and so on.
Dalton looks like a 4-3 version of Harry Potter. That's toxic. He's a good kid. That's funny. But anyway, it's going to be a ramp drop here, or ladder drop, excuse me. Dalton's out of Pop Dog, and he's got the bomb on his back. He's just raring to go, but actually that bomb's going to be dropped down, and the trades come flying through. But look at Drew. He whips around, finds the first 1 versus 4. Maybe he can make it happen. A couple of
Yeah,
these players are low.
he's alone. He can make this happen, but Modern is still alive, and Modern already has 3 kills. He's had a good first start to this pistol, but Drew is going to find the first, not the second, though. AGN just finds the head before Drew can, and the first round goes the way of Rebirth.
That was a really good job trying to isolate the 1v1s and get those angles separated so he wasn't getting shot at from 3 places at the same time. But regardless, Rebirth, run them down, and it's going to be the pistol round going the way of the CTs. So the force buy is in, though. Juicy force buy. We see the scout on Drew, Dalton with the Galil, Deegs for the rest of the squad. And the ramp,
Ooh.
excuse me, the main rush is going to net themselves a juicy kill on Sherps. Holy crap.
Yeah, that first shot was just a great one coming through with that Galil. Grazur are so good at taking rounds that are you know, way out of their favor and bullying it back into their favor, pulling it back towards them. And oh, Dalton, that is genius! The fake flash to get into ladder. I cannot believe that worked. Luckily, Modern is here to take down Dalton, but Maxwell trades him out. Now a 2 versus 4 in what should have been Rebirth's round, but Maxwell finding one more. Now it's all into AGN in ladder on the flank, and he's being held. This is an insane round from Grazur, and the first tag is there. Drew the Shrew trying to finish it off, but AGN has almost no chance, and it looks like I think he is just going to go ahead and save here. Save that armor, save that SMG, and yeah, that's all he can do. That was beautiful.
What a heartbreaker for Rebirth. And Colin, I think you were on the money here when you called this bullying. This just looks brutal. Grazur just ran around and raffle stomped Rebirth Esports here, taking heads and slapping people down. And just like that, shattered economy for Rebirth. Not even a rifle saved, an MP9 for AGN, and kills the scout. Okay, so escapes and gets some farm money, but it's like not a great consolation prize because that stings. That's a heck of a round to give up.
Yeah, and now Grazur have a insanely better economy than Rebirth. Now they have the space to buy these rifles. They do have one SMG, but an AK also, or they have an AK and then an M4 saved over, as well as the Galil, as well as the FAMAS. That is super painful for Rebirth. Luckily, we do see some good aggression from AGN, but he's flashed, but he's in the smoke. This actually could be everything from AGN. They are spamming. They know he's around this area, or most likely is from that smoke, but nothing else just yet.
Yeah, I think they're just guessing. So now the interesting thing, they didn't hear any damage because AGN wasn't tagged, so they could let their guard down. But the nade's certainly going to give it away, and he whiffs the angle as well, so it's not even going to hit his target. Dalton takes minimal damage from that. Still, AGN gets away with his life, so that's something at least. But Sezi pushes, and this could be deadly. Time will tell. The first goes through, but Outhals finds both the frags in the trade. Bomb will get planted, and the rotate is dismantled here. Sherp's going to fall immediately. Denya trying to find some heads with the Deagle. It's one of those guns that's either really amazing or really bad, because the innate inaccuracy of the gun kind of lends itself to do insane things or just kind of be meh, like super underwhelming. Kind of like right there. Outhall's gonna go ahead and take Denya's head, and Modern tappity tap with the 5-7 finds Outhall's back, but ultimately a pretty good round for Grazur.
Yeah, I mean, they lose some minimal players there, but it was a very solid round. That B take, they just get the entire site, find the first two, and as well as the third, just on the drive-by to the site. That's such a difficult retake, and it's really good on those two players that attempted to retake to find at least, I think they found 2 kills there, but still their economy is broken. They're into a save with, excuse me, some upgraded pistols, whereas Grazur, they're already setting up an economy for a couple rounds.
Dude, yeah, and look at this ladder stack. Dalton's gonna volley it out, and the spray in from Solgoat to deny the leaving. Ooh. Sharps burns alive, but is gonna actually, Denya pushes in and takes down Solgoat and recovers the rifle as well. That's gonna be a problem for these terrorists. They're gonna have to deal with him, or you know, they could just ignore him and kill the rest of his teammates while he somehow doesn't get spotted. But that's gonna change with Drew running, gunning him down, and AGN is left in a very dark, cold, and empty server, grasping at his CZ and wondering where his teammates went.
Sad and alone in the world, nothing but an outdated gun by his side. Yeah, this is gonna be another
really
round.
Be like that. Oh no! Hey, little CZ, I believe in you. You're still viable. You know, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day.
Eventually, it'll come back into the meta one day, but that day doesn't seem to be today, as AGN does just have to save. AGN, though, does have, I mean, just looking at the numbers, a 3 KD ratio, you know, 3 kills, 1 death, so, I mean, he's not having the worst game in the world, but he will be tested.
There's that big brain at work again, dude.
Yeah.
I love
the math of dividing 3 by 1.
Oh, the little pistol that gonna find at least 1 kill, but traded right back, and they only lost the MAC-10. They recovered the rifle, so Grazur are perfectly happy with that. They've built up quite the little bank for most of their players, and Rebirth get a buy here. Finally, the first real and true buy of the game. Hopefully, they can turn this.
Rebirth have to either start winning rounds on a streak or, you know, losing rounds with like one player alive for Grazur if they want to start to break this economy. So far, it's not looking in their favor. They lose, or excuse me, they get the first kill, but that's one going the way of Grazur. 2, 3.
Oh
coming
my
out.
lord!
Yeah, Drew finds another, and now it's once again AGN, the man alone. This man cannot die first. He has to die last.
I don't know what to say about that round because it looked so good for Rebirth. They got the pick on Maxwell, and then it all just fell apart, came crumbling down around their ears. Soulgoat pushed all the way through all the smokes, caught 2 of them by surprise, and their whole defense was dismantled despite a stack. 4 players on the A bomb site. It just didn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, God, that was just a brawl onto that site. It is so hard when you are just getting rushed by those T's on that A site. All your vision is impaired. You're stuck behind these smokes, so it can be really overwhelming, but I don't know how they only get 1 kill there. I mean, that, of course, does change with AGN, the ever-trustful 1 frag master, 1 frag around man, AGN saving his rifle, but I think the most important thing here, other than, you know, Rebirth losing a very important round for them, is that they're going to have to save again, and Grazur, they get to build up even more economy. They are falling behind in pretty much every way you possibly can, and this is becoming an absolutely astounding first half for Grazur.
Remember, it's early yet, and this is kind of exactly how the last game started, if you recall. So we'll see. Rebirth managed to bring the half back to a 6-9, but this round is not going to start the comeback. Dalton systematically destroying these players, but he peeks Denya with a grenade out, the Molotov, and he's going to get punished for that. A nice little headshot coming in for him. Still, nothing to sweat just yet. Sezi going to go ahead and be taken down by a nice little op shot from Outhalls, and Denya is left to pick up the pieces of his broken team.
Ooh.
But that can't exactly happen when you're burned to a crisp on a ladder, and then headshot for good measure.
Yeah, that Molly just barely missed. I believe that was it Dalton down there? And then they just held it. No, it was Maxwell, excuse me. And he just holds that angle and gets the player to drop in. That was a very ballsy drop, and I respect it a lot. But sadly, it didn't do anything for Denya. But now Denya has the op out, and this is the first op we've seen on CT side. So I'm very interested to see if we actually see this show up in any important way.
Well, so far it's the M4 to come up big here, but Dalton going to trade it back, and Denya holding with the op. Maybe we'll see something happen, but Dalton, Maxwell, not in a hurry to peek that just yet. And all 3 of these players are gambling towards A. Look at how far away. AGN is almost completely left B, and the bomb is going towards B. Rebirth are misreading this, and this could lock them out of the bomb site, especially with Drew causing such a distraction. Pulls AGN completely off of B. And this is just disaster for Rebirth. 3 versus 2. The Molotov is going to come in, but Maxwell with a quick headshot.
This is, I mean, it's just falling apart at the seams for Rebirth. It's something that I say a lot when I'm casting, but it really feels, in this game more than most, that it's just the pace. Grazur, they've set their own entire pace, and now they're just playing in it. They have the entire server in the palm of their hands. They're saying, we're playing fast, you don't have time to drop counter smokes, we get the opening 2 kills, and then we choose where we want to go off of that. We're just going to rush A site, kill a couple of you, back off, and then do whatever we want. And it works for them every round. Rebirth, they have to start using, I don't like utility better to slow these down, to try and stop these early picks, or else they're just going to fall behind more and more.
Yeah, and at some point, reality's got to come crushing down on them. Denya, nice little cheese up ladder. Can't steal away a gun, though. Still should be nothing to sweat for Grazur Esports.
Huh?
Outhalls trying to throw the gun away. Not quite going to be able to do it through that window. I would have learned something new there if he could have done that.
Yeah, I would have learned that,
Oh.
you know, glass is an option and you can just kind of put things through it, which, to be fair, that would change a lot of things in my life if I knew that.
Well, the Molly gonna do quite a bit of damage to Modern. Grazur taking their time here. Interesting play from Outhalls. That was pretty aggressive. Unnecessary risk, I would say, but in the end, it's still gonna work out. But and bit of a costly round so far for. Oh, Drew, that was a toasty shot. I gotta give him props for that.
A little bit of spice, a little bit of a spicy shot, and surprisingly, and of course I say that completely sarcastically, AGN is the last player alive, and we are gonna go see a replay of that tasty, zesty, sexy shot, as well as that drop down there, the misplay by Outhall as well as the good save by his teammate.
Yeah, props to them to close out the round, although like, it was still a little bit risky. You take those though. The flash out. Dalton finds the opening pick. What is that? That was freaking filthy. Dude, you're like rolling around in mud or something and then decided to just, oh, he saw the shadow. Oh, can't find Sezi though. He's going to take it back anyway. And before I have a chance to stop praising Dalton, the trades are coming in. 2 versus 3 now. And Maxwell getting into 9 Modern. What is going on? This is absolute chaos. Outhalls as well. They have no idea he's so far up, but he gives himself away. The trigger discipline not there, but it doesn't matter. Daniel whiffs a shot. Close range, can't find it. Sezi, here's the info, but that ladder is going to give him up, and now it's a race to see if the bomb can get away. It does. Molly smoked out. Sezi pop flash through. It's finally done. Outhalls shuts him down. Nice little 3K for him to top off that round. Grazur, like a lot of these rounds have been close, but at the end of the day, they're winning what needs to be won, and it's 8-1 now. This is just like if reality hasn't hit for Rebirth yet, it's crushing. And this is the point where I say, call a timeout, guys. Like get that reset in, figure out what you're gonna do, what your next play is. Don't let that slide. You gotta figure out what's not working and fix it.
Yeah, they absolutely, excuse me, I'm having a little bit of a throat problem. They absolutely need to call timeout. You can see just right there, they're getting way too aggressive. They're totally in their own heads right now. That last round, they had the man advantage, but they over-aggressed behind the players, as well as got caught in the timing with only one person trying to hold the B site. He turned his head right as someone peeked him. They're just making plays they shouldn't and don't have to be making. AGN does have great positioning to find one before he gets traded, but still, Rebirth, they're getting over-aggressive in positions they shouldn't get aggressive, and they're getting, I would say, way too stagnant in other places. They're playing backwards of the type of CT that they should be playing right now.
Yeah, and I can understand it in rounds like this, right? Like that was almost a great play. Sherp's trying to catch Maxwell. And in rounds like this where you're at a firepower disadvantage and at a man disadvantage now, like you need to take risks. But like you were talking about last round when they had a man advantage and they had rifles, like there's no reason to be that aggressive. You can just sit back, play the trades, and play Counter-Strike. Like and they're not playing Counter-Strike right now. They look like they are in their own heads.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely, it seems like they're letting it get to him. We do see the op come out again. I still think that, honestly, the op may be the key to slow this down, just because if you're able to pick off one of these players right as they come around these corners that they're aggressively peeking, right as they try to push into these sites, that could give you the advantage you need. And Denya, look at him. He's taking my advice. He finds the first, backs off. Beautiful opting from him to find one and leg the second. His teammate swings out. AGN able to find 1, 2, looking for the third, but he doesn't quite get it. The site is given to Grazur, but the players are in favor of Rebirth. It's time for the retake.
Yeah, retake is coming in, and the first shot goes away. Maxwell's just 2 offs at long range. Absolutely devastating. I don't know if Outhalls knows that Sezi is legged. This comes down to timing now. Oh my god. Who reads who? Oh no. Oh my god. Sezi doesn't get spotted, but Outhalls misses the shot and must-win round. Sezi's going to go ahead and pick it up. Bomb is defused, of course. Rebirth find their second. I'm just going to point out, if they pull out a comeback streak and close the round out, or the half out 6-9, that would be the exact same half that was the last game.
That would be an absolutely magnifique half. But I'm going to be honest, that round, while, there were some great plays, just the way that Rebirth are playing, I don't see them finding 4 more in a row here. I don't think there's a world where they don't drop at least 1 more round to the side of Grazur. But Denya trying to change my mind, finding the first with the op, looking for a second. He does it through the wall, looking for a third. The smoke is there, though, but Sezi is going to find it instead. Sherp's finding 1 more, and that's such a quick round. Sherp's with the 2K, Denya with the 2K, and a little bit of help from Sezi for Rebirth to find their third.
Yeah, you were talking about the key to this being the op, and Denya had been flat pretty much all of last game and most of the beginning of this game as well. But he's gotten 4 kills in the last 2 rounds, most of them entry frags, and really just cracked open the key to this game. Like you were saying, he's hitting his op shots, he's hitting nice shots, and he just did it a couple rounds in a row. He might finally be warmed up. We might be finally seeing some life here for Rebirth.
First kill does go his way yet again. It is traded out onto Sherps from Solgoat, but this map is such an Opera's
Look at
playground. And Denya
Slowgoat.
is
He's
such
behind
a
the smoke. He's gonna find the
Ooh.
headshot. Oh my God! Sezzy and
Oh!
Denya burns. What is this? Modern trades 2 back.
What
But
is happening?
it's madness and chaos. This is so puggy right now.
Yeah, this positioning though from Drew is so good to find Modern. Now it's all onto AGN yet again. The man who's always left in the 1vx's is left in yet another one, and he's, I was gonna say on the wrong site, but there isn't a site that's being taken. They're just going to get the bomb at the moment. And actually, they realized that he could have aggressed and found this bomb, so they're taking this super slow. So time is on the side of AGN, and it looks like he is at least somewhat near the site they're going to be coming on. Now rotating back to A, but
I
there is a
think.
world where he wins this, but
Yeah, and I
yeah,
think Grazur are fine with taking it slow because the
yeah.
longer they take, the more of a mind game it is for AGN. AGN has no idea what they're doing. He's paranoid about everywhere. And Slowgoat and Drew have found themselves a free B bomb site because of that. They're just gonna walk out and get the bomb planted. Now they are gonna know where AGN is gonna come from, but still, he only has a UMP. He hasn't picked up an AK yet, and he just walked right past one. I don't know if he's just so nervous he doesn't even realize, but that could have come in handy in a situation like this.
There's some situations that I honestly prefer a gun like this, just the speed you can take with it, but he's not able to close it out, just takes the fights, holds still. Honestly, with an SMG like that, I mean, this is coming from the bottom frag of an open team, so, you know, don't take it as the word of God, but, I mean, running at them, trying to just maneuver Serpentine towards them might have been a more aggressive and more, I guess, better play at the end, because
More better.
he could have gone forward above that player and then looked for the second one, but doesn't matter anyway. Modern is going to find the first in this round.
Yeah, and the op chiming in yet again, making plays. Sherps getting a little bit aggressive. It's paying off for him this time, though. Ivy has been found, and it's a 3 versus 4 as Solgo does find a trade, but he's a little low on HP now.
Yeah, has to be careful as Sezzy finds him with that deagle. Not a headshot, but it gets the job done. He has to be careful of that player coming out of ladder, and he drops to them. 2 versus 3 now, but it's still in favor of Rebirth. But Sherps is a CT. I was going to say Sherps has amazing positioning on these CTs, but he is a CT, so makes sense why he would be there.
Yeah, and look at the aggression from AGN. He's pushed up into B, so they pretty much know these terrorists are going to come A. Oh my God, behind the smoke, Modern with the op. And the old bomb train, Sherps as well, continuing to just be a thorn in the side of Grazur Esports.
Yeah, oh, this is dangerous. This smoke is fading as whoever sees who first, and Maxwell does see Modern first, but he's still in the 1 versus 2. He whips the shot.
If he hits that shot, he's got a great chance to win it because he knew where Sherps was. So he had the info. Grazur, though, lose the round. Rebirth have a chance to make it at least a 5-10 half, which would be really good considering they started 1-9.
Yeah, it's definitely a very solid comeback in the end, but the question is whether or not it's going to be enough, because this is a map that is heavily considered CT-sided, at least in Pugs. Of course, maps aren't as close to CT or T-sided at this high of a level, at a higher level than Pugs, but still this map does favor the CT side just a little bit easier. So this is going to be a very, very dangerous match for Rebirth, and they are playing for the entire series here. But luckily, Sezzy is able to find the first 2.
Finds the first 2, even manages to get himself in a nice little position. Walking up the ladder here. I don't think they realize he's here. No, he's going to completely surprise these players. We're looking at a 5-10 half.
This is amazing.
They got no clue. Freest kill of his life. Bomb is isolated. He has no idea where to look. He's trying to stay alive. It's all over.
Yeah,
it's over. 5-10, baby.
Sezzy definitely coming out with the hero play there, 4 in that round to find them their 5th, but this round is going to be, or this half is going to be very scary for Rebirth. They're definitely a team that can pull off the comebacks. We've seen them do it before, and we'll probably see them do it again. You know, whether it be in this tournament or any others, but yeah, just a question of whether or not right here, right now is where they pull that off.
Time will tell. Time reveals all things. And now we see the second pistol about to be revealed. As the push is in, Solgo tapping away from Old Bomb, gonna just destroy AGN, and more USP shots tapping in here. Sherps though finds 2, Solgo trades it right back, but a team kill from Maxwell, but Solgo's good for 3, make it 4! What a round from him so far, but Modern 1 versus 2, don't count him out. Modern's one hell of a player, but Solgo finds the ace to clutch out the pistol round for Grazur Esports. That is absolutely insane.
That was, I mean, even with a team kill coming in, that was an ace. God, that's the thing that I was saying earlier is that Grazur, they have players that will show up more on an individual level. Rebirth, they can adjust, like more and more, but Grazur
I gotta stop
so
you
good.
because this is so important to note. Outhall's bought a Negev.
Oh, this man. That's my favorite gun in the game. I have to give respect to him. Best gun in the game, IMO. Completely underrated, completely overpowered.
He might get some use out of it too, because there's a Modern thinking about going down this ladder here. He's eyeballing it.
He's tempted. The thought is in his brain.
Yeah. Dalton to open things up and a little bit aggressive there. That's
He
actually
got
gonna
it.
be Outhall's going down. The Negev traded over, but Solgo's here to hold the line. Dalton's gonna burn Modern, and AGN last alive somehow again. Sprayed through the smoke. It's a no-go for Rebirth. It was a save round, so that's to be expected. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see the Negev put in any work.
I mean, we saw it get 1 kill before it got taken down, but thank the heavens we do see it coming out again on Solgo. Grazur are doing their best to keep me happy. If there's a Negev in the server, there's a smile on my face.
That's all it takes to keep you happy. I gotta make a note.
But I'm a simple man. Negev equals happiness for me. You know what? That's all it takes. But also, watching Drew find 1 and almost 2 kills does also put a smile on my face as well. But Solgo is going to be putting that Negev to use.
Yes!
He falls before he can find another, but a great hold with that Negev. Modern pushes into Ivy and falls to Dalton.
Oh, he thinks Sesni too. That damage is so important because of this SMG here. And Outhall's. Interesting. Sezi and Denya falling off of the A-bomb site, but Maxwell is being really aggressive here, pushing for the info, and he's got the power, he's got the knowledge.
Yeah, this man, he wants it. He needs it. And yeah, they do have a free plant at least. The question is how long it takes them to clear the site, and if Sezi decides to drop down and take the damage. He does take 1 point of damage, so he goes from 11 to 10. Luckily, nothing more than that, but Denya is holding for this peak out connector. He shoots off, but no damage, and he actually takes damage from the SMG instead. That's not who you would expect to win the long-range battle, but now he's going to take another one towards this SMG. Molly's coming through, though, and he is going to take a little bit of damage. Has to be careful, but this retake is terrifying. Denya taking more damage, and now it's Maxwell to find 1 and Outhall to finish it off.
Outhall's 19 HP. Nice jump to hit the bomb train. That was impressive. I saw that, Outhall's.
Ooh,
other people might have missed it.
He had the movement.
Oh yeah, that was a really nice jump. Wow. Huge round for Grazur to win. At least Rebirth get the bomb plant, so the loss bonus coupled with that means they do have money for a reinvestment here. But that gap is getting a little too wide, dude. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can... If you showed me these 2 maps, I could easily pick out which one is Grazur's choice, because they are just coming alive. It's not even that they're playing out of their minds, they just look so much more confident than Rebirth. They look so comfortable manipulating the way Rebirth plays to their own advantage. Also, this is going to be delayed because we're on a delay, but thank you, the Canadian for coming in with that raid. Hope you had a good stream and saw you were casting some of that South American CS, some of that Brazil CS.
Oh, Outhall's first line of defense here. Maxwell as well finds 2. It's decimation here on the B bomb site. Sezi and AGN trying to pick up the pieces of the broken team. The flank's a long way away though. Finds 1, but the walls are closing in. Solgoat on the flank's gonna take him down easy peasy, and AGN yet again left wondering why his teammates are laying on the ground. Get up, guys. The round's not over, but it is over because AGN falls, and that is Grazur Esports 1 point away from match point. They are getting close to the end of this game, and the scoreline doesn't really tell the story of this game because a lot of these rounds have been close, but Grazur have just been coming out on top in these 1v1s, the 2v2s. They've been making the clutch plays work, and Rebirth are not looking confident. You touched on it earlier. It's super important. Confidence is really key in a lot of these games.
I absolutely agree. And Solgo finding the first. I think Grazur is just so much more comfortable playing on this map. They're so much more comfortable going for these early picks, playing that aggression. I mean, Rebirth, they were able to take us so far on map 1, even though they didn't win it. They were able to take us to overtime because of just how comfortable they were going for these aggressive plays or for changing their speed, playing a different playstyle on that map. But when they go to a map that they're less comfortable on, they aren't able to change the speed, change how they play it as well. And that's why Grazur have just found their 15th.
You know, I was kind of hoping I'd see someone drop one of their rifles to pick up a Negev for the last round of the game, but it looks like it's not going to happen, and I can't say I blame them. Grazur can smell it. They're hungry. They're thirsty. They want the blood. They want the round win. They want the money, the cash prize at the end of this tournament, and they're going to keep fighting for it, and it looks like they're about to take it away, but flashes like that might stall this out a little bit longer because Sherpa finds 2. Make it 3 as he trades out his teammate Modern, and the bomb site is cracked wide open, but Maxwell's here to defend it. Finds the first, he's got more to do. Finds the second, can he swing on Denya? Not gonna happen. The trade is in 1 versus 1, though, as Outhals trades back AGN. Finally, someone else is the last alive for the T's. The bomb gets planted, and the shot just barely is off. Oh my god.
Oh, this is terrifying. Denya hasn't... I mean, Denya did have a spree of rounds with frags coming through. Luckily, this is one of those said rounds. Finds the head, wins the 1 versus 1. That round was on the back of Sherps finding that opening 3K. Amazing opening frags coming through from them. And then, you know, Denya just winning that 1 versus 1. But honestly, I don't want to be a Deborah Downer, but I think it's too little too late. I don't know if we're in a point where Rebirth can bring this back 9 rounds in a row at this point against Grazur that is playing so dominantly. I don't know if there's a world where that happens.
That being said, Denya, first one out ladder. Outhals traded back, though. Drew being traded as well. Another one with the AWP. He's just finding so many. Misses the shot on Modern. Barely escapes with life. Remakes and hits it. 3 for him. And he's still going. But at the end of the day, 3 is not enough. You would have had to get an ace, and it's not going to happen. Says he finds the last 2. And as far as comebacks go, yeah, normally the general rule is you talk about comebacks once the team gets double digits. So when Rebirth gets like 10, 11 rounds, then we can start talking about a comeback. But right now, still a long way off. And at least they've earned themselves a save round here for Grazur.
Yeah, so they are most likely going to find 8 at least. But another problem is that these have been off the back of hero plays. Sherps in the first one, Sezi in the previous round. I mean, this one, Denya already finding 2 before finally dropping. Even though this is a save, they do have to do heroics. Now it's, excuse me, it's a 2 versus 2. What? This can't be the round. This cannot be the round.
Surely Grazur don't win off this. ATN's got something to say about it. Takes down Drew, the Deegan not able to find the head. And yeah, this would have been an absolute heartbreaker for Rebirth to lose on. Still possible they lose it. They don't have the bomb, and they don't know where Dalton is. So who the heck knows how this could shake down? Time will tell. But for now, Rebirth tentatively looking at 8 rounds at least.
Yeah, I mean, Rebirth are having to do what we saw Grazur do a few rounds back, or back in the first half, which is just slowly clear out where the bomb is. But time is on their side. The question is whether or not they expect Dalton to be here. He's in such a forward position. He drops the bomb. Now it's doable. 1 versus 1. Dalton just has to find the head of Sezi. If he does, his team wins. But no, Sezi is able to save it. 8th round for Rebirth in a round that was much, much closer than it ever should have been.
Absolutely insane. Just a heads up, by the way, in case you haven't already. Go ahead and type !redline in the chat, guys, for a chance to win an AK Redline field tested that Golden League is giving away. That includes you too, Cullen, by the way. I don't know if you
know
did
what? I
already,
might go ahead and do that.
But yeah, you know, why not? Might as well give it a shot, right? Maybe if one of us wins it, we can just give it away again. The push is in. Sharps to open things up towards A. They're just running out now, and the punishing is coming in, but the scout not going to find much long range, especially when Outhals got a pistol out like that. But still, damage being done. Sezi within a body shot range of dying here. And Drew, I don't think they're going to expect him towards heaven. This could get dicey for Denya. Oh, Drew can't find the head. The
Now
trades
this
come
though,
through. The executors out B. Oh my God, it's all
what
on
are they?
Maxwell, and so far so good. What a jumbled mess of an execute there. Dalton isolates the kills on A. It's a 4 versus 2 now, and Rebirth are absolutely scrambling. Sezzy manages to catch out the first. Find a second. What is that? Okay, 3 HP. Okay, Sezzy, doing what you can. 2v2. The bomb will get planted, but how long will it be planted for?
Yeah, I mean, says he's just coming alive in such a big way right now. He's having a wonderful game. He has to be careful of this aggression, though. They might be able to find his head, especially if they go back towards Hell, towards Olaf. So this is dangerous, but they are going to get the first kill. A little bit of team damage, but they drop. There it is. Grazur Esports off the back of a 2 versus 2 retake. Find the game.
Wow. Yeah, it was too little too late. You were absolutely right. Rebirth starting to come alive again. It wasn't good enough. Grazur take the series 2-0. That's it. That's game over. GG's. Good luck, have fun. When's the Rebirth moving? I wanna see what happens.
Yeah, I mean that was such a close 2 maps. The first one, of course, much closer than the second one. The first one bringing us to the Rebirth. They are very good at not cracking under pressure. That is by far the best thing.
Guys. Have a good night. We might come back after this next one. Not entirely sure. Still feeling it out.
Was just so close, and honestly I think the point where it really fell apart, at least for the second half, the part where the comeback was completely torn down, was that take onto B in that last round, just because it was such a sloppy take. The molly stopped them down, and then the player that was already on site had to turn around to smoke it because they were the only player with a smoke. I mean, that was honestly one of the sloppiest rounds we saw from Rebirth the entire time. Other than that, Rebirth, they were cool, composed, and smart. I think
I entirely agree with that analysis. We were kind of talking about how Rebirth looked like they were scrambling and maybe making some silly mistakes they shouldn't have been making. Even in Inferno, when they left the bomb in the spawn while they force rushed, stuff like that was a little bit of an eye opener, or an eyebrow raiser, excuse me. But yeah, overall, they definitely did a good job of resetting eventually and clutching out a few rounds, making it a little competitive. But ultimately, like you said earlier, we keep going back to it. Too little, too late. You have to win the game. It's first to 16 rounds, right? They let Grazur get to 16, so that can happen. That is Rebirth heading. I think they're heading on over to the losers bracket now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they will be dropping down to the losers bracket. I don't know if we actually know who they are going to be facing in that losers bracket just yet. I'm gonna see if I can, if that information is out there, and if so, if I can pull it up. But the thing is, even though it was a 2-0, affair. Rebirth made the entire thing extremely close for the side of Grazur. They have so much resilience, so much, want to come back into clutch. They're so good at fighting against these round deficits, fighting against an uphill battle. They're wonderful. Of course, they fell apart a little bit on train, but that's just because it seemed like it's a map that they're not as comfortable with. They played some wonderful CS, some wonderful level-headed CS on the side of Inferno. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that this is the end for Rebirth in this entire tournament. I think that we will see them probably in a few more matches. I mean,
Oh yeah.
they are a very solid team. I still, one second. Let's see if I can Rebirth. I'm trying to see if I can figure out who they would be going up against in losers bracket if they go and do that. Where can I get this information somewhere? Okay, so they're in bracket group 2. I figured it out, and so they will be going up against the loser of Orion Esports versus Frag Corps Purple. So it'll be whoever wins that game, Rebirth versus them, and then also we should say that the winner of the giveaway will be coming through right now. So the person who's winning it, Aaron, do you want to give a drum roll?
Absolutely, I'll drum it up. I don't know if you can hear this.
It's coming through. The winner is Wikiwashi in the chat. I hope I pronounced that right, but good job on winning that AK, buddy. I'm a little upset I didn't get it, so there's a little bit of malice in that, but I do wish you the best with that AK that could have been mine.
We're gonna build a wall. We're gonna keep Wikiwashi on the other side of the wall. He's not allowed in. It's gonna be a beautiful wall. Well, congratulations on the red line, my guy. And I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you watched the whole thing, because if you didn't, you better give that red line back. I'm just pulling your chain. Maybe I'm not. You don't know what I'm doing. Am I kidding? Am I not kidding? I'm unstable. Call in, say something.
Well, we would once again like to thank everyone for watching the stream, coming out and supporting the team's great games to both Rebirth and Grazur. Also, of course, thank you to our amazing sponsors such as HyperX and Sector 6. We wouldn't be able to do this without them. Both of them provide so much great support. Anyway, we are going to go ahead and go to a short intermission, maybe a commercial break here or there, but we're going to head out for the night. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I hope you enjoyed our casting.
Absolutely, guys. I'm just going to jut myself in here to say peace out as well. Have a good evening, and we'll see you soon. Go for gold.